What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Love After Lockup. You guys, season 5, episode 34, and this episode was titled, How Mentally Stable? How mentally stable are you? Now, before we go ahead and get into this review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love After Lockup, shall we? So yeah, this episode, where do we want to start up at? Because this episode was a bit of a doozy, if I dare say so myself. This episode, it was a lot of things that I cracked up laughing at in this particular episode. I just don't know where we start up at, because pathetic was one of the words that I thought about a lot in this episode. Let's start with Kim and Joey, you guys. Kim and Joey. So Kim and Joey are out on their official first date, but she paying for it. That ain't a date if you paying for it. Well, it could be, but you're paying for it. So Kim is talking about her relationship with Joey, and so we find out that Joey was, quote unquote, a bit of a revenge fuck to her ex who had cheated on her, right? But what happened is Kim said that she found out that she was pregnant by her ex-husband, well, her soon-to-be ex-husband, right? She went back to the ex, they got married, but Kim continued to cheat on the ex with Joey. I was like, girl, say what now? Make that make sense. So Joey asked her about her ex and, about the divorce, right? So she says her ex is not wanting to sign the divorce paper because he feels that Kim will break up with Joey and come back to him. So now Joey, in his mind, is thinking, hey, maybe it was your husband who sent me that message talking about he was Ashley. I was like, it's possible. Whoever it is don't want y'all together. And that's all I got. So then Joey talked about all the drugs that he's taken. And I was sitting here thinking to myself, Kim, is this the best idea for you and your boys? No, it's stupid. Again, you never judge a book by its cover, but I mean, when this hardback, weathered and tattered book, you might just want to put a little bit of caution to it. Be like, oh, if I pick that book up, it may have asbestos. Oh, if I pick that book up, it may just crumble to pieces. But you want to take a man who's fresh out of prison, who is a drug addict, around your two sons who are 5 years old and 3 years old. Kim, you got a lot of problems with yourself, sister, girlfriend. So they get back to the cabin, right? And it's time for them to, do the do. Kim is still talking about, I don't know how Joey will feel seeing me. Girl, y'all got the same body type. Like, Joey has hips too. His hips don't lie. You know what I'm saying? But okay, girlfriend, whatever. But Kim came out there. She looked nice, right? Joey is talking about he never uses protection. I was like, so you don't forget pregnancy. You don't worry about the 3 letters S, T, and D? STD. You don't think about those 3 letters? Sickness to your dick. Like, you don't think about that? Sickness to your dick. But okay. Whatever. Go for it, right? Now, after that, they left, going back home. They stopped by a toy store. He asked her for her card. This dumb fool gave him her card. I was like, girl, are you stupid or are you stupid? Why would you give him your card to go in there and buy gifts for your sons and you ain't even got money like that? Talking about you make $15 an hour. Baby, I don't remember the last time I made $15 an hour. I couldn't even survive off of $15 an hour. With my apartment and my lifestyle that I like to, the things that I like to do, baby, I could never. So if I were to leave my job that I have today and go work for $15 an hour, it would be an absolute, without a doubt, a hell to the no, but couldn't happen. And then he said he spent like $318, and she was like, she ain't got it. I was like, well, obviously you got it now because he just used your card. Girl, you stupid. So they finally made it home, and his mom was happy to see him, her boys. Kim, why would you why would you bring him, like, again, I'm not judging Joey by no means, right? I'm just saying, why not have a little bit of caution, right? Why not say, hey, Joey, just for a little bit, why don't you go and stay with your mom, right? Let me and you get to know each other on the outside world, and then if we feel like this is something that we want to pursue long term, then I can gradually introduce you to my sons, but not just bring you straight home to my sons. Hell to the no. Fuck out of here with that dumb shit. Let's pause here and move on to the next couple, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, Leticia. The first thing that I gotta say when it comes to Leticia is the hair. The hair. So you still got these two pieces of hair that's sticking up right here, right? But then I noticed on the side right here and in the back right here, because at the back, at one point you could see a track in her hair. I was like, oh, so whoever did your hair didn't blend your hair in well, because I can see your real hair and I can see the tracks. So whoever did your hair, fire them. Don't ever go see them again, because they don't like you. They hate you to do your hair like that and have you on national television looking like that. So Leticia is talking to Keith's aunt. I forgot what his aunt's name is, right? So there was a note on the door from the sheriff's department. And so Leticia is wondering if it has something to do with Keith coming home. And, the aunt told Leticia to call and just kind of figure out what it's about. So then the aunt took her daughters to school, right? And her oldest daughter, every time I see that little girl, that young lady, she just looks so uncomfortable. I think there can be two things when it comes to her, right? I think she could be uncomfortable with the camera, number one, but I also do feel a sense of uneasiness and uncomfortability when it comes to this situation with Keith. But it don't seem like Leticia is taking that into account, right? So Leticia tells us that Keith's attorney, public defender. I want to put a pin in that, public defender, right? And I'm gonna go back to something in just a minute. But Keith's public defender filed a motion to withdraw from Keith's case, right? Now remember, I just said public defender, not his attorney, right? So this begs the question. Y'all remember when we met Leticia and Love during Lockup, that Leticia went and bought a $15,000 ring that was Keith's money. Girl, if Keith got $15,000 or more, why does he have a public defender is my question. Because if you got if you got 15 G's or more, then you should be able to afford a good attorney and not a fucking public defender. So she also did call to check on Keith's release, right? So the woman on the phone was like, you got to call your private attorney. So I was like, I'm so confused. So is it a private attorney or is it a public defender? Which one is it? But either way it go, whatever this thing is that Keith has been talking about, the woman told her on his file, it says NA, not applicable. So I was like, so where's Keith getting this information from that he coming home soon? Is Keith coming home soon? Is he? I don't know. We'll see. So after Leticia got off the phone with that, I think that was a woman. It could have been a man, but I don't know. When Leticia got off that phone, she called up this guy. I guess his name is Michael. I don't know. So here's the thing. I don't know if Michael is this quote unquote private attorney or if Michael is the public defender. I don't know who the fuck he is, right? So she called him and it went to voicemail. And so Leticia was like, well, I'm just going to pull up on him. I was like, oh, okay, girlfriend, I hope you brush your hair. Just saying. Next up, you guys, let's go ahead and pause here and move forward. So after this, we just going to go down a lane of delusions. Delusions. The first delusional fool was Z and Troy. So, like I said last week, all Z is concerned about is the size of Troy's penis. And I was just baffled and confused about the whole thing. Because it's like, girl, that's all you care about is how big his dick is? She said yes. And then she said, and it was good. And I was like, girl, I don't care how good it was. You stupid. Let me correct myself. Let me clear myself up. She's not stupid. You're less than smart. Less than smart, baby girl. So she also talked about the fact that the night before he slept towards the edge of the bed. And I was like, girl, the man just got out of prison the day before. So that man slept in a twin bed cot for years. He's not used to sleeping in a big ass bed. So he is going to take him some time to get acclimated to being in the free world. Also with Z, like I said in last week's review, the ponytail. The ponytail is one color, right? Then her hair right up here, it's weave as well. Because I saw on this side right here that this is a track. Now, not in the scene. In the scene, that's her real hair. But in her interview, because it's not as long in her scene as it is in her interview. In her interview, it's longer and it's a track. And you can actually see the track right here. So this is black. This back here, the ponytail, it looks like it's brown. I was like, girl, did you not know what color you wanted your hair to be? I mean, I get what you were probably trying to go for, maybe like an ombre tone, like, go from black to brown, but none of this looks good. Like the ponytail is ugly, the pieces of hair right here ugly. Your real hair that you can see right here ain't the same texture as this or this fucking ponytail. I'm sorry. So then, she told him that his mom is coming to visit them and for him to go pick her up. When Troy then told us about his mama, I was like, that is so rude. How do you do that to him? So Troy's mom didn't raise him, right? Troy's mom, I guess she got addicted to alcohol, right? So Troy actually was in the foster care system, but he then was raised by his dad and his aunt. So he never really had a relationship with his mother, right? His mama didn't visit him while he was in prison. Now, Troy, I ain't gonna be too mad at your mama for not visiting you while you're in prison, because here's my thing, and I say it all the time, right? Because I lived in the prison system, not like lived in it, but it was something that my mom and myself, and my grandmother would do on Saturdays, right? It wouldn't be every Saturday, but there would be some Saturdays out of the month and I think we went. Because I had a cousin that was in prison and I had an uncle that was in prison, right? And at one point, my cousin was all the way out in Huntsville, Texas. If you guys don't know Huntsville, that's where, Huntsville is where what's-her-name's boyfriend was, right? Triangle and, Triangle and the Great Value Pinky, right? So when I was much younger, my mom, my grandmother, and even sometimes one of my mom's baby brother, my uncle, we would all go out to Huntsville, Texas to see my cousin, and we would come back home. And that is about, from my hometown to Huntsville, that's about a 3 to 4 hour drive, right? But then it got to the point where my grandmother couldn't make the ride anymore, so we stopped going to see him as much as we stopped going to see him at all. Until until my uncle went to prison, and luckily enough, my uncle was sent to a prison that's maybe about an hour to 45 minutes to an hour away from my hometown, and so we could easily go see him. My grandmother can make that ride. And then, my cousin was like, he asked for a transfer to that prison and got transferred, so we'd be able to see both of them in, one setting. Like my mom could sit with they actually would put them side by side, right? Because they knew that they were family, so they would put them side by side, and so we could have a visitation with them. And then it got to the point where my mom and my grandmother were able to have, we were able to sit at a table with my uncle and with my cousin. We still had to sit behind a plexiglass, right? But, saying all that, I said all that to say, I can understand why the mom didn't go see him, because it is very taxing to go see a family member that is in prison, and they're in prison because of something that they did. You love your family, but they're in prison because of something that they did, right? So you have to take the time out of your day, out of your weekend to go see them, even during the week, right? Because I had some times where my cousin was transferred to my hometown for court, right? You take the time out of your day to go and see them in prison, in the jail cell. So I'm not upset with his mom, right? Then Z told him that his mom was staying with him. I was like, wait a minute, girl, you're doing a little bit too much. You're doing way too much. So Z and Troy got home. Her son was happy to see his dad. That still don't sit right with me. The boy has a father. I find it fascinating, and I would love to know. I don't want to know, because I think Z makes bad decisions in her life, right? But I would like to know, why didn't you put his actual father's name on his birth certificate? Like, that's so weird to me. And then Troy, you put your, it is what it is. I hope you know that if you divorce her and your son is still a minor, child support, sir. Just saying. Where she really lost me at was when this dimwit, I was about to say bimbo, dimwit, and I put them together. But this dimwit bought some gifts for her son, gave it to Troy to say that it came from Troy. I was like, girl, you are stupid as hell. Ain't no motherfucking way. So then she's talking to her sister, bragging about the fact that they had sex for 3 hours. I was like, oh, okay, girl, whatever. Nobody cares. So then we see Troy as he went to go pick his mom up, right? And what I will say is, I'm going to pray for Troy's mom. It didn't look like she was struggling with anything currently, but I think what it was she had, because she talked about it, I think she had an alcohol addiction, and I'm going to pray that his mom is doing well. And that is all we got for Troy and Zura. Let's move forward, you guys. Shante and Untrue. I got so much shit to say when it comes to these two, right? Shante, you're a beautiful girl, right? And I think what it is with Shante, it's probably a lack of self-confidence. It's also probably a combination of the assault that she experienced, right? And what I will say to Shante is, I hope that you seek some kind of therapy, right? Because, I myself, a victim, I'm not even gonna say a victim, I myself was, assaulted by someone. Actually, I was assaulted twice, right? Once was by someone that I thought was a friend, right? That was when there was the R word, right? Then I was M-worded by someone who I did not know, didn't even know the person. The person just walked up to me, had a conversation. We were having a conversation, right? Just talking, and out of nowhere, this person just grabs a handful of my member, right? And I was like, whoa, back. Like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know you. I didn't ask you to touch me. We good. Like, get the fuck away from me. And it was so weird. Like, that situation when that happened, I will never forget it, because what happened was, I used to in my hometown, there's a walking trail that I used to go on, and I just wear gym shorts, right? And it's not it's not my fault that you can see it's not that, not the shorts weren't see-through. You could just kind of, if you guys get where I'm going, you know what I'm saying. You could see something, right? And I didn't realize that the person was trying to flirt with me. And we were just talking, having a conversation, but then out of nowhere, you just go and grab me. And I pushed back and I was like, get off of me. I don't know you. I ain't feeling you like that. Nobody asked you to touch me. And I walked away and left it at that. Should have reported it, but I didn't. Should have reported it, but didn't. But yeah, with Shante, excuse me, y'all. With Shante, I just want you to go get therapy because I know, like I said, I think it's some insecurity issues as well as the physical assault that happened to you, right? But at the same time with Shante, I don't know what Shante expected from a man that's been in prison since he was 18 years old. He's coming out, yes, he's 30 something years old, right? He's coming out a 30-year-old man, but mentally he's still that 18-year-old boy when he went into prison. That's why he has the lack of authority that he has, right? That's why he feels like he can do whatever he wants to do without, I guess, repercussions, which you would think he wouldn't after being in prison for as long as he's been in prison. But you know what, it is what it is. And I thought it was funny when she said, I'm dealing with an idiot in his face. So she told him that he isn't taking anything. She was talking about he's taking nothing seriously and that she's dealing with an 18-year-old him. And I was like, you absolutely are, but I think you should have known that from the jump. So she just told him that he needs to work on his listening. And I honestly will agree with that because I feel like with him, if he doesn't work on those listening skills, as well as taking some accountability for himself, that he's going to find himself back in the same situation that he was in previously, right? Now, Shante, baby girl, I want you to run for the fucking hills because this nigga is all but telling you he doesn't want to be with you, right? So she asked him, she told him they need to work on their communication, but then she asked him, what do you want from me? Do you want us to be friends? Do you want us to date? Do you want us to date other people? Do you want us to date exclusively? Do you want us to still be engaged to each other, right? So his whole thing was he wants to date exclusively because he ain't entertaining any other females. I'm a female. I can't stand when a person says, I'm a female. But yeah. So Shante got in her feelings and I was like, but Shante, I don't understand. I got that Shante was hurt, right? And I'm not sitting here diminishing how hurt she was because I felt bad for her when she started, especially when she started, she was crying. I felt bad for Shante. I really did. But I just don't understand what Shante was expecting from him. Number one, you're not his preference. He primarily dated white women. So you're not his preference, number one. Number two, you said it earlier, he still has the mentality of the 18-year-old boy that went into prison. So for you to come out of prison and I don't know what Shante was expecting. I think Shante set herself up for some unrealistic expectations of what life would be like once he got home. Because I don't know what she was thinking. I honestly don't. And I don't keep saying it, but I just don't understand. Especially when he got out and you guys started interacting. You could see the 18-year-old mentality. You could see it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that everybody who goes to prison, they're stuck in that same age when they went in. Some people grow and mature while they're in prison. And I'm not saying that he didn't grow and mature. I'm just saying that right now he's still, because he can get out, get acclimated to the real world, and become a better version of himself. And I do believe that for him. I definitely do believe that he can be a much better version, but he has to want that, right? He has to want to listen to people. He has to want to abide by rules, regulations, and everything of that nature. And right now, I just don't think he's in that mind frame Because he also said he's not in the mind frame to date, but I don't think you're in the mind frame for really pretty much anything but yourself, your own selfish wants and needs. And it is what it is, right? He says he wants to get to know Shante. Do I believe him? So, I will say like 10% of me believes that he does. I do believe he wants to get to know Shante. I don't think he wants to hurt Shante. I honestly don't think he wants to, right? But he hasn't been free in years, right? So I get it. He wants to take the time to explore, and I don't know if that means explore other women, but I know he wants to live his life, make up for the missed time, right? I think that's one thing. So we see him as him and his sister. They went to go to the gym, right? And the sister is very much so complicit, right? Because she called her friend. Well, I ain't gonna use air quotes for that. She called her friend, right, to come to the gym to work out. Now there's where I'm gonna use an air quote at, to work out. Cause girl, y'all want to work. Maybe he was, but you and that friend, y'all playing this for him to see her. Cause he talked to the friend previously. So this is a setup meeting. They actually went to the gym, but this is a setup. Let me know what you guys think about Shante and True, and we'll pause here and move forward and wrap up. All right, you guys, so we got introduced to our final couple of At the Lockup, Daniel and Bianca. Mama is delusional and young as hell. So Bianca is 23 years old. Daniel is 31 years old. I was like, oh my God. He got a young fool. So she's packing to go to Arizona. So she lives in Florida, right? But Daniel's in Arizona. And so when Daniel gets out of prison, Daniel can't leave this state for 90 days. So what she's done is she's gotten a place in Arizona, already done paid for up. She done already paid up for it, right? She doesn't know how much money she spent on Daniel. She was like, maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, where are your parents at? Does anybody in your life not say, yo, this ain't right? But her friend that she was packing with, her friend said that she's delusional. I was like, you saying it to the camera? Said it to your stupid ass friend that she is delusional. Then her friend Andres that we met later in the episode, he even trying to talk some sense to her. I don't think there's I really feel bad for her because she getting got. So we found out a little, because I noticed that she had a scar on her neck, and I was like, is anybody going to explain what this scar is on her neck? I wish that they didn't show us her in that hospital bed with that fresh scar, because I was like, oh God, it looked like it's open. Ugh. So what happened is she met up with a friend that she hadn't saw in years. They went to a bar. She got drunk. The friend drove her home, but she didn't know that the friend was drunk. I was like, how did you not know that your friend was drunk if y'all at a bar? Nah, baby girl. That is something I would not be doing. How did you not know that your friend was drunk? I just have so many questions about that. But suffice it to say, the friend was drunk, and the friend drove up the ramp at an airport and ran into a concrete wall. What I'm gonna say is God is good, because she's still here. She said something about her neck and her back. I was like, "Are you not paralyzed?" Oh, God is good. God is good. God is good, right? So that's why she has the scar. She said she got some money from the axe. She got some money from it. I bet you she did. I bet you she did, right? You got, because that's bodily injury. Ooh, that is injury, and I'm pretty sure that they were, you know what though? They probably filed a civil suit against her because the friend, I know for a fact that the friend's insurance company didn't take care of her car. Oh, you know what? Florida's a PIP state. That's probably how she got a lot of money. She probably got money from that PIP. Woo! I know she got a good amount of money. I can guess how much money she got. She got a lot of money because for her to she had surgery, her back and neck. Yes, she got a good amount of money. She probably got at least six figures or more. She got at least a good six figures. She got at least a good six figures. Because she says she's not even worried about working. I know you're not, but you should. Oh, this is a cautionary tale to anybody who's young that's watching me, that you come into a lump sum of money, right? Because I've done it twice in my life. I've come into two lump sums of money. The first time I came into actually both times that I came into a lump sum of money, I wanted to do right by them. I honestly did. The first time I came into the lump sum of money, it wasn't like a huge lump sum of money. Actually, neither time it was like a big lump sum of money, but it was just enough that I didn't have to worry about things for a little while. But both times that I came into the lump sum of money, I wanted to do, I did right by them, but you know, I won't get too deep into my personal business, but this was what I'm talking about in the Braxtons, where, you know, you reach out, you ask people for help. And the thing is, when people know that you have money, they'll say, well, why don't you spend it all? Well, why don't you touch that money? And it's like, I don't want to touch that money because, you know, the first lump sum of money that I came into, I was working, but the job that I had, it wasn't the best job. I was making $12 an hour. I was able to, you know, afford my apartment that I had at the time and everything. I was able to afford everything that I had, but I wanted to also I wanted to keep that money in a savings account and just let it add up, not touch it, right? But anytime I needed something, you know, people will say, but you got this money from such and such. Yes, I did, but I don't want to always pull from that, because when you pull from it and you don't pull back, when you pull from money and don't put back, you're hurting yourself, right? And that's what happened the second time, right? The second time I came to the lump sum of money, it was because of COVID, and I got a huge lump sum from unemployment from when they didn't pay me. I got a big lump sum, right? And the same thing, I was like, I don't want to keep pulling when I ain't got no goddamn job. Yes, I'm getting unemployment, but this shit ain't gonna last forever, you know? So when it comes to that, she's talking about not working. I would highly suggest that you do work, make a little bit of money, so that way you are not solely dependent on however much money you got. Because again, like I said earlier, I know she probably got at least a good, she got six figures. I know that I can say that. She can't speak on it, but since I work in the insurance industry, I've been on some panels where I've heard cases where accidents are far worse than hers, and at my company that I currently work for, right, I was listening to a call where it was a case that was similar to hers, but the injuries were far worse than her injuries were, right? And they set a reserve to negotiate at over $1 million. They were negotiating at over $1 million, right? And then I see just the regular claims that I deal with on a day-to-day basis where it don't be that bad of injuries, and the attorneys will send us bills for $500,000 and stuff, right? So I know that girl got a good sum of money. The problem that I have is that she says Daniel knows how much money she got. I was like, God damn it, that ain't smart. You shouldn't have told a man how much money you got, right? So we see her with her best friend Andres, and I like Andres, right? But your best friend is oblivious because he's talking to her about the fact. So Daniel is an addict, right? He's talking about, is she gonna drink around him? She's like, well, he's the addict, not me. I was like, girl, that is so stupid, because that is tempting him to drink. But hey, it is what it is. So then she also talking about the fact that Daniel doesn't want to go stay at the halfway house. He wants to come stay with her. No, take your ass to that halfway house, because if you don't go to the halfway house, you're gonna be right back in prison. And Andre tried to have a conversation with Daniel. He called Daniel an asshole, and I was like, I agree with you. Daniel didn't want to listen to what Andres was having to say. Now, here's where she lost me at in this particular scene. Daniel got a 13-year-old son. I was like, girl, y'all damn near close in age. Just a 10-year difference. So, oh my God, no. So she also talked to his mom on the phone. I think his mom likes her, but his daddy asked her, how mentally stable are you? I was like, exactly, daddy, because she can't be that stable to want to be with your son. But that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. Until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, be blessed, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This video is over 30 minutes long. I did not expect for this to be that long, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.